Okay, right. Let's take you through the grid for our last race for Rotax here at round 2. It is DD2 and DD2 Masters. Well, Imke Arts winning the race, the pre-final earlier on after a great battle between her and Nicola Guillaume. They line up on the front row of the grid. Axel goes, and Sam Canopius will be on row 2. Jordi Klebor will be joined by DD2 Masters pole sitter and winner of the pre-final, Bas van Vlimmeren. The ever-experienced, the veteran, Christoph Adams will be on the inside of row 4 alongside Gil Blonder with Jesse Spans and Rick van der Straat rounding out the top 10. Wim Rollor and Dominic Alls round out row 6. Carl Klebor, Ronne Lessor on row 7. Niels Berle, Mark van der Kamp, Christophe Lessor, Derek van Kurt, Ton van Weert, Brett Ottes, and I'm really pleased to say thank you to Gabby from Chronal for telling me, well, we saw her walking away from the medical team, Lisanne Kielstra is back and in the kart. So kudos to Lisanne for doing that. Maurice Knopf is due to start at the back of the grid. Also, official warning was given to Mark van der Kamp for leaving the kart before the check of leaving the kart before the front fairing check, and also got a 5-second penalty for front fairing. Brett Ottes got a 5-second front fairing penalty despite having DNF'd on lap 12. So after this, we'll have 2 more races to go. Just a quick reminder to KZ2, we could very well be racing under the floodlights tonight, so clear visors have been clear visors are order of the day. That is what I've been told by the organisation. So 2 more races to go after this for us to conclude. And you know what? We are less than 10 minutes behind schedule. Big thank you to Michael and the team from Chrono for getting everything ready to rock and roll. So who knows? Could we be seeing us getting back on time for the final race? Not 100% sure, but you never can tell. Okay, into the tram lines. Revs rise, flag gets us underway and racing. Imke Arts leads us into turns 1 and 2. Axel Goes was looking up the inside of Nicolas Guillaume, and where is Guillaume? I was just trying to look. He's all the way down at the back end of the field. Oh, he got muscled out big time. I think he might have run off circuit. So Imke Arts leading the way. Axel Goes, Jordi Klebor, Sam Knopfiers. And that puts Bas van Vlimmeren on, I think, 5th place. So hold the phone. Guillaume has got 12.5 minutes plus 2 laps. Christoph Adams just needs to keep both hands on the wheel, Christoph. You should know better than that. You've been doing enough racing. So humidity has dropped. Air temperature now 14 degrees Celsius. Sam Knopfiers up the inside of Axel Goes. And that was for P3. Got the job done. And there is Bas van Vlimmeren. Okay, get this. DD2 Masters driver. Leading the class and is 4th. How about that? How about that? That's absolutely brilliant. So, my question is, Nico Guillaume, what have you got in the tank? Let's find out. Well, Guillaume is now all the way down in 21st position. And he's got a lot of motoring to do. He's got a big mountain to climb. He's actually behind. Who'd have thought of this one? Nico Guillaume, all the way down at the back end of the field. Imke Arts leading. Jordi Klebor is now 2nd. Sam Knopfiers looking, well, now a little bit of history with Sam Knopfiers. I don't great command of the English language. Was based in the UAE for a number of years and actually raced Rotax and Micro and Mini over there. So shout out Guy Sheffield and the team at Al Ain Raceway, I would imagine, on that one, and probably David Bright at Dubai Autodrome as Knopfiers goes for 2nd. Great move up the inside of Klebor, who is going to try and is it's like gesticulation between the pair of them. No, you go first. No, you go first. Right, come on, let's go and get after Imke, shall we? She's leading. She's now pulled a gap. And yeah, I think Nicolas Guillaume might have sustained damage, and the 444 could be out of the race, I'm afraid to say. So 9 minutes and 50 seconds left to go on the timer. Plus 2 additional laps. It is going to be rather crucial. The now looking at this is something I don't really do that often. Sunset expected in about an hour's time. We could be cutting this really close, you know. However, Imke Arts, this could be a great way to wrap up the weekend. Of course, she took the win in what was a very delayed affected. Now, Lisanne Kielstra at the moment, let's give an update on her at the moment. She's currently up 4 places to 17th on the grid. But Sem Knopfjes is trying to get past Imke Arts. Now, does not need to force the issue, does not need to try and go for broke and hope that it works. However, sometimes, as I said earlier on today, it is a case of some drivers will be going for that, they'll want to lead. They'll want to lead at the front of the field. And there'll be those that will want to stay in second. The gap between them is just over 1.1 seconds. And a big thank you to everyone that's actually made it possible for us to hit on the YouTube channel exactly 1,100 subscribers this weekend. So thank you all. But now Imke Arts is starting to stride away ever so slightly. Sem Knopfjes is really good on the brakes, it seems, coming through. Oh, right, CRG off the circuit. That's the 416. Derek Van Kurt off the track. The clouds are looking a little bit greyer up the top. We've all been hoping, and I'm going to do it now, touch wood. Sem Knopfjes now has the race lead. Knocked on the table, knocked on the door, knocked on the side of my head. Yes, 3 types of different timber to deal with, one of which is skull inside of flesh. But Imke Arts now is 2.5 tenths of a second behind. There is an opportunity. Now, we have had a change in the meantime. So that is Rick van der Straat in the Sodi kart, who's now made his way up from 10th and is P5. Christoph Adams leads the way in the DD2 Masters classification. So we could see, now we've got 3 DNFs. So Derek Van Kurt on lap 5. Nicolas Guillaume and Moritz Knopfjes out on lap 2. We'll have 6 minutes and 41 seconds to go on the timer, plus an additional 2 laps. We still have KZ2 and KZ2 Masters and KZ2 up after this last race. Of course, the championship will then go to Marienborg on the 28th of April. Coinciding with the second round of this year's Belgian Max Challenge, run by the team led by Brenda Svennen and Lemons at Karting NK2. Is going to be a case of, right, Sem Knopfjes leading away by exactly 6 tenths. Imke Arts, oh right, Jordi Klibor looks to be the next retiree, the 440, the younger the son of Carl Klibor, who at the minute is really starting to push on a little bit. He's well, he's just been passed by Gil Bronder for the final step on the podium. Come on, Carl, go on, De Backer, go on, go and get him. Interesting thing that for those that don't know the story about why I nickname Carl Glibble the Baker, well, of course it's Dutch for the Baker. His original nickname was the fastest baker in Flanders, and it stuck. And then I spoke to him one day and I said, it might be easier if I call you the Baker. Would that be easy? He said, yeah, it sounds better. You know, so it sticks. But Axel Goes is the fastest driver out of anybody so far in this race. 44.692 seconds for the number 455. So we are fast approaching 10 to 6 in the evening at Circuit Park Berghem in the Netherlands. It's been a wonderful experience to see this kind of track, of course, finding out about the CIK FIA history, and of course Dave Ritson, who I said hi to on the live stream, he said, yeah, I was in around that time. So Dave has been in karting for a very, very long time as a driver, as a championship organiser, now also works as a consultant within motorsport. Good friend, and yeah, has his moments. He's a crazy guy, but he's a good bloke, and has a great family as well. So 4 minutes to go, and Sam Knopfjes is not being allowed to get away. Imke Arts looks to be ramping up the pace in the 4:21. The gap last time around, well, 2 laps ago, it was 6/10. What is it now? 4/10. Dick van der Start is still the fastest driver out there. And now it's Brett Otters, the driver who retired on lap 12 after an incident. And it's getting very, very interesting indeed with 3.5 minutes to go. Axel Goes might try and steal a podium, steal the final step, or the runner-up step on the rostrum from, of all people, Imke Arts. So this is where things really, really do come to fruition. Sam Knopfjes said, well, when I was at Genk, there were mistakes being made all over the place, and now, with 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go, Knopfjes has an opportunity to go for the W here in DD2. And at the minute, Christoph Adams looks to be hitting the top step this weekend. Quite comfortably do so. Knopfjes leading by half a second. Axel Goes trying to put the frighteners on Imke Arts for that runner-up spot on the podium. Could be the case, you just never know. With 1 minute and 45 plus 2 laps, Knopfjes could start to expand that gap. It was 4.5 tenths. It's now nearly 5.5 tenths. Okay, so we're down to 18 runners and riders in this race. Fastest lap so far. Imke Arts, oh right, Imke Arts has decided it's go time and has the opportunity to try and close in that near 5.5 tenths of a second gap to Sam Knopfjes. So give or take, that's going to give us this plus 4 laps by my estimation. Imke Arts at a 44.380. Gap was 5.5 tenths of a second last time around. Now it goes to 0.38 and another new fastest lap. It looks like Imke Arts was saving the tyres. That's a very, very good strategy call. Of course, this is a longer race. It's 13 minutes as opposed to 10. And Imke Arts has already got 1 win today. Could it be the double for the 421? Well, that'll be dependent on how Zem Knopfjes responds. So the proof will be in the pudding, as they say. Axel Goes is still sticking with Imke Arts. 3 to go. Gap now half a second. And Imke Arts lost time by over a tenth in comparison with Zem Knopfjes. So the time has hit 0. We are on lap number 18 out of 20. Zem Knopfjes, as soon as he took the lead from Imke Arts, really hasn't looked back that much. He's trying to do everything to keep the race lead. Started 4th on the outside of row 2. Penultimate lap of the DD2 and the DD2 Masters final still underway. But also keep your eyes on the battle for the DD2 Masters lead. Christoph Adams has now got Bas van Vlimmeren right up the rear bumper and is up the inside through at turn 4. I think Van Vlimmeren has just stolen the race lead off of Christoph Adams, and he has done. Van Vlimmeren wait for a late lunge up the inside of Christoph Adams at turn 4 and now has the DD2 Masters class lead. And, oh, right, okay, there's something brewing and it's not the weather. There's 2 drivers in front of Zem Knopfjes and Imke Arts and they've got the blue flags and it's the last lap. This could be very, very crucial on how these drivers in front keep out of the way of the 3 leaders. The blue flags will be waving. Knopfjes trying to get through. That's the 510 of Ton van Veer in front. And now that's holding up. That's holding up Knopfjes. That's brought Imke Arts back into play. Imke Arts now has an opportunity. So does Axel Goes. That's going to be Christoph. I'm not too sure who that is in front of them as well. But the blue flags are being waved and Knopfjes gets through. Arts has got to thread the eye of the needle. It's going to be too late. Too late. Out of the final corner, Zem Knopfjes wins the final by 0.166 seconds. From 4th on the grid to victory lane for the young man in the 420. A welcome return to Rotax, and what a way to round off your second weekend as a DD2 driver. You pick up the win in the final. Imke Arts, that's a great points haul for the 421. A win in the final and in the pre-final, and a win in a second in the pre-final. There was also the 522 of Niels Böhler going across the line, but Zem Knopfjes wins the final for DD2 overall ahead of Imke Arts, with Axel Goes completing the top 3, Rick van der Start and Bas van Vlimmeren. The latter winning the DD2 Masters class by a late lunge up the inside of Christoph Adams at turn 4 on the final lap. Brett Otters, Gil Bronder, Carl Klebor, Ronald Lessor round out the top 10, with Bronder rounding out the top 3 provisionally on the podium. We've got Mark van der Kamp, Dominic Hummels, Lisanne Kielstra getting herself back in the car, making up 8 places to 13th. That is grit and determination, even with that big accident on the pre-final earlier on today. Wim Rouleau, Niels Böhler, Jesse Spans, Christoph Lessor and Ton van Veer round out the finishers, with Jordi Klebort retiring on lap 7, Derek Van Coort on lap 5, with Moritz Knopfjes and the biggest retirement of all, Nico Guillaume on the opening lap.